Dank.
Bum 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 ba da 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 bum 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 ba da 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 da. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum. Skeet my balls, everybody. Welcome back to the Dank. My name's Keith.
My name's Michael, and today we are in the Craner lobby. Selling Dank Brownies.
Dank Brownies.
We're trying to raise enough money to see all the movies nominated for the Oscars.
Yeah, so we have some very special brownies, 2 for $1.
And homemade.
Or we have super special homemade brownies for $1 a piece. And if you want something to clean your palate later, we have some bags of parsley flakes, only a nickel a piece. So, in addition to that, we also have a fantastic interview lined up for today, don't we, Watkins?
Indeed, indeed.
We have with us today the chair of the English department here. It's Dr. James H. Watkins, who received his BA from the University of Tennessee, his MA and PhD from the University of Florida. He's edited several, Southern Selves, a book about autobiographies and whatnot. Has wrote many articles, including the use of I, the lovely and terrifying word. So very interesting and scholarly professor that we have today. We're very honored to have him.
He's very chill. I like him.
A very chill guy, and one of the best musicians we've ever seen. So let's give a big round of applause for Dr. James H. Watkins.
Glad
Thanks for having me here to the brownie sale, guys. Appreciate it.
We're excited that you'd be here. So first question, to go ahead and get started. So doing all of our research, we kind of were going over the topics that you like to write about, the articles you're writing.
Okay.
And most of them have to do with autobiographies. Would you like to go in? Why is that? What about autobiographies grabs your attention?
Well, you know, I wasn't prepared for such a serious kind of question from you guys, but you know, one of the ways that I approached it was that there was just a wide open field for me to write about autobiographies written by people from the American South, because the autobiography studies has been a pretty hot field, but there hadn't been much done with that in Southern studies, so I saw a niche to go with there. But then, as it ties in with my love of literature and my interest in teaching and the way those come together, because people write about their lives because they have something that they want to share with other people, and that's what I like to teach for too. And so it's good to work with texts that have interesting lives to behold and share those with people, because essentially, you know, we have only a certain number of choices to look for models for how to live our lives, right? The people that get exposed to a lot of different kinds of models have more choices, don't they? So it's interesting to read about how people imagine and live their lives and write about them, and it's a good way of thinking about how you can be creative with your own life, is how others have been creative with theirs.
We just had a tour group. Look at that.
There's a tour group. If you guys want some brownies, we're selling brownies.
Do y'all want any brownies?
Would you like a brownie? Yeah. $1 for 2 brownies of these kind?
They're really good brownies.
Really good
really
brownies.
Good. Dr. Watkins said they're really good. Are they dank?
I wouldn't know about that, but I mean, I assume since you've said they are, that you're not going to be doing false advertising here.
Yeah. Well, with the idea of autobiography, do you think that the Southern culture provides more for people to learn from, or why do you still cling to the idea of the Southern culture as opposed to other autobiographies?
Actually, I write about how autobiography participates in this kind of cultural process where, as a nation, we still cling to this idea that Southerners are really very different from the rest of Americans. And I think that probably we're more like the rest of the country than ever before, but the persistence of that perception is something that's brought about through representations of Southerners. And so what do Southerners themselves have to say about those differences and how do they imagine them participates in that larger cultural process. You know? So,
How long have you been at Berry?
very long time. I came here in the fall of 1995, so last century I came here actually.
Now your hometown is Nashville, Tennessee, is that
Memphis
correct?
originally. I was born in Memphis
Okay.
and then moved to Nashville when I was 12.
Okay.
So,
But in between, wasn't there a little bit of time in New Orleans?
absolutely, and then
Rock
Ninth
on.
Ward in New Orleans too.
That's fun. Let the good
and I've
times
still
roll.
got some family down there and plan to show up for the second weekend of Jazz Fest this year too.
So you're a jazz fan?
Well, yeah, but Jazz Fest has got all kinds of bands. Well, there are kids playing in brass bands in the very neighborhoods that jazz was born.
Yeah.
And they are playing music that's relevant to them. And so check out the Soul Rebels or something like that. Somebody playing Bootsy Collins lines on the tuba in those bands, and they're just laying down the funk, but in essentially the same musical format as the very earliest jazz bands, before people were even calling it jazz, as they were doing the things with the New Orleans marching bands and things. So it's very cool. And some of those neighborhoods have been destroyed, of course. Some of them, like the Tremaine neighborhood near Louis Armstrong Park, are still thriving. They weren't damaged by Katrina. So
Somebody getting a brownie.
here we have some brave soul buying brownies. I can't believe more people aren't interested in these.
I know. Come on, get some brownies.
So I think maybe I was verging on the esoteric there in that little ramble about the musical culture of New Orleans, right? I need to try to keep it a little bit more down to earth for the Dank fans, right?
No, we have some pretty erudite fans.
Oh yeah, indeed, indeed. People all over the world tune into the Dank for its educational value.
We actually have a Harvard medical teacher that watches the Dank.
Indeed, indeed. So we've branched out.
So is he like interested in the from like a pharmacological perspective, or is there some other reason?
Well, the Dank does have a lot of medicinal purposes. It improves Viking vision because glaucoma. Now, your preference of music. You're into jazz, you're into all sorts of types of music, but what is your #1 influence?
Well, influence, I don't know, that'd be hard to say because I've got that Memphis and Nashville background, and so I've been listening to everything, you know. I mean, my mother was an opera fan, I'm not real drawn to that,
Really?
but I mean, I'm into all the kind of music, but I think that, you know, like what kind of music am I most passionate about at any given time probably has more to do with what I ate for lunch than anything else.
What did you have for
What did you have for lunch today?
Well, I had some cornbread, so I'm feeling a little country today. So
Cornbread.
What would you like
Fried
to play?
cornbread, like baked, you know, like.
well, there's only one kind of
Is there?
cornbread. It's cooked in a black iron skillet. you know.
Amen,
It's done
brother.
with a little
Amen to
buttermilk.
that.
You know
Good
what I'm
old
talking
southern
about
ways of
here.
cornbread. We ain't talking about no city Belleville cornbread or nothing, Moncrief.
Right.
Fried cornbread?
Okay, that's right. You're from below the gnat line. They have their own culinary traditions, which I'm sure demand
There's nothing like
respect.
a good, you know, fried cornbread. You know, looks like a pancake. It's dank.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. You come from the fruitcake capital of the world, but I believe you know what you're talking about anyway.
Hey,
so.
we pride ourselves on our bakery. Don't have you had Claxton fruitcake?
I've had Claxton fruitcake.
And the verdict is
It's pretty good when you wrap it up in some cheesecloth and put a little B&B on it, let it sit for a little while. It's
See?
pretty good.
there you go.
I get someone to do it for me.
Fantastic. Well, since you had a cornbread mood, I'd say,
Cornbread?
would you like to play us something?
I would.
Did you bring? Look at
Let's
it.
see. Oh, here's a guitar.
Look.
over
Oh my
there.
God!
Look
Right
there,
there's
yeah,
a
isn't
guitar.
that
Did you see that? That's random.
Let me
Redneck
whoop out this old guitar here and see if I've got a guitar pick in my pocket here.
That'd be ridiculous if he did.
Let me see. Am I going to have to stand up to
In Soviet Russia, the Dank be back you.